Hey you guys, I'm back at it with another video. Oh my god. As you can see, I'm back home. I actually made this video when I was with family. Um but the audio didn't pick it up and I was pissed off. So now we're doing it again. I apologize for any inconveniences that may take place throughout this video. As you can see, I'm all bundled up, and you may be asking, Alexis, why are you so bundled up? What's going on? Baby, I am kind of sick. Kind of sick. I don't claim her, okay? I don't claim the sickness. Um, but I'm a little under the weather. I was just traveling. I was with my cousin and she was coughing and I got her bug. So, Zara, if you see this, I'm gonna beat you up. But I'm back, y'all. Trying to just push through. I really wanted to make a video for y'all and talk about Martha Stewart. I got some topics I want to discuss this week, and I just want to get back on my grind. I was, in New York. And let me tell y'all something. This is why learning about astrology, about certain occult practices, and using these tools to help you navigate and help you see and locate certain patterns of life so that you can have a more robust awareness for situational awareness, for pattern recognition within just events going on around the world, current politics, current world events, so that you're in the know and you kind of have like this hidden information that nobody knows. It's it's fun. It's fun, but like whenever I go visit my family, they're like on the East Coast, and where they are, it runs right on my Mars line. And if you're into astrocartography, like that is a really if you're on your Mars line, that's a really good alignment for you to like get projects done, to feel really really energized to proceed and take action on certain projects, certain passions, job opportunities, whatever. But there's also a possibility, because it's Mars, right? Mars wants to keep going. There is a possibility of you like feeling burnt out. And I was burnt out. I was so exhausted. I was so tired. I'm just so glad to be back and to get back to some better weather, child. It's like 53 where I'm at. When I was with my family, it was like baby in the 30s. Oh my gosh. Man, I know how you do it. But I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm bundled up because little tiny bit sick. I'm sitting right by my window, so I just didn't want to risk anything, but it's slowly going away, slowly going away. And if you're into any herbal remedies, or you're into any like anything like that, get you some. Sponsor me, y'all. Sponsor me. Get some oil of oregano. Get some sea moss, some oil of oregano. Get you some ginger tea. Get you some black seed oil, right? Get anything to boost your immune system this season. It's about to be flu season, cold and flu season. Put down your emergencies, right? Put down anything that have histamines in them, because it's like it gives you temporary satisfaction. It gives you temporary relief. But this girl right here, she this girl this girl right here, she is the truth. Like, she is really strong and potent. And like, even me, like, it took me a while to get used to black seed oil, because it also is very potent. But nothing tops this girl. Nothing tops this girl. Get you some black seed oil. Get you some oil of oregano. Um, right, and do it, because it really works. Like, it really does work. It's antimicrobial, antiviral. So it's just like, it's so good. I cannot wait to just like really delve into my wellness journey. If you guys didn't know, I used to have a CMOS business. I should have kept going with it. Honestly, now I should start selling more of it. I'm thinking about it. I was in Sprouts the other day, and I seen a bunch of like CMOS packets up in Sprouts. I was like, damn it, I should have stuck with it. I could have been rich. But we're gonna be rich in other ways, okay, y'all? So but yeah, doing a lot of rambling. Let's get down to the video. If you're into astrology, if you're into divination, stick along with it. Stay around. Make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe. What person would you like me to do a video on? I have another person that I'm going to look into, and I'm really excited about that, because it's just kind of near and dear to my heart. But I was recently watching the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix with my cousin, and it just really gave me a new profound respect and admiration for Martha Stewart. Because before, I mean, we all love Martha, right? But I never like knew about her background. I never knew who the Martha Stewart was. Like, the Martha Stewart outside of the celebrity, outside of, you know, the status and symbol figure Martha Stewart. But watching the documentary, I was like, wow, she's just this white girl that be doing things. And I love that. I love that. But I wanted to get into her birth chart. Um, I had some just like some hypotheses and some theories that I wanted to relay with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm so sorry for the sniffling. If I'm sniffling, you guys, like, please stop. I'm never like this. I'm never like this. I promise. Okay, but Martha Stewart is a Leo sun. Boo, 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 boo. She has her MC conjoined to her sun in Leo. She has a Venus in Virgo. She has her North Node in Virgo. Um, Neptune in Virgo. She has her Chiron in Leo, her Pluto in Cancer, her Mercury in Cancer, Jupiter in Gemini, Uranus and Saturn in Taurus, and a Mars in Aries and a Sagittarius Moon. Okay, you guys. So there's just some things that I saw that I wanted to point out that I thought was super, super interesting. So basically, if you don't know Martha Stewart's story, you know, she started as somebody that was, you know, your average male, privileged white woman. She went to school, then she met her husband, then her husband and her got married, and they went on honeymoon. They went to Europe for their honeymoon, and you know, she had this life that was basically built up for her, but she chose her own path and her own direction. She always was just very, very an independent mind, independent thinker, an independent woman, all while being um, a mother, a wife, right? She, you know, there is a lot of conditioning historically that women have encountered when it came to, you know, especially white women, right? Um, Following in orders, following what they've been told to get a husband, have kids, and settle down, and be a mother, and like be a teacher, and you know, just have your life so minimalized to just doing these very ordained steps. And Martha, she had bigger ambitions, a wider set of vision for herself. She just wanted to do so much more. She did all the things. She got married. She was a mother. She, you know, got a house, got a home, and she decorated her house to the best of her ability. And she realized that her passion was far greater than motherhood could ever be for her. And she was bold enough to make that decision for herself and not let others make decisions for her. Um, and I think that's what just really set her up for this long term success that she had, right? Um, and if you watch the documentary, right, the whole scandal of Martha Stewart was that she was this like juggernaut, this businesswoman juggernaut. She was the first self made billionaire woman to have a company, successful company, and be publicly owned, right? She's at the New York Stock Exchange. She's publicly traded company. She had partnerships with Kmart, so many different partnerships with different cookbooks and lifestyle living books and publications that really took all of her knowledge of homemaking and design and interior decorating into this digestible content for women, for other homemakers, for people who are just really interested in making their house a home, right? And doing it in very creative and innovative ways. Ways that they can feel a sense of luxury, ways that they could give back to, you know, the middle class average American woman that wants to live a life of luxury, but at a fraction of the cost, right? And it's so interesting, right? Because she has this Mercury in Mercury and Cancer in the ninth house. The ninth house is all about like expanding your mind. It's about higher learning, higher knowledge. And it's interesting because this is almost like a teacher aspect. Like she was literally teaching women, right? Cancer is a feminine energy. She was teaching women. She was like a teacher of sort, and she shared her information with women. She shared her information about homemaking, about about making the about domesticity, right? She relayed the knowledge that she has. I mean, she has this Venus in Virgo ruled by Mercury, and her Mercury was in Cancer. Like, she has this keen sense of skill, this keen eye for perfection when it comes to domestic life, when it comes to the inner world, when it comes to, like, these very emotionally driven things. Like, when you come home, you want to feel good, you want to relax and decompress from the day, right? But you want to make your home accustomed to you, accustomed to your senses, accustomed to your living environment. You want it to feel comfortable to you. Teaching people about different ways to enact that level of comfort, enact that level of nurturing in the home. Have your home feel welcoming to your guests, to your kids, feel welcoming to yourself. That when you come home, you can really take the day off of you and just rest and recover. You can turn around, you can get your favorite throw, and you lay down on your silk sheets. Like, it's all about like tuning into those senses, getting yourself back in touch with your body, regulating your nervous system with all of the environment around you. But teaching this, like even that, like the ninth house is like foreign travel. And in the documentary, she traveled with her husband all over Europe, and she was around all these different customs and traditions, and the richness and the colors and the art that she saw, right? It influenced her taste. It influenced the way that she saw beauty. It influenced the way that she saw homes, and how to take certain pieces that she saw and research that she acquired to then utilize her information, utilize her skills to then share with other people, share her knowledge, right? Share her teachings. And it's so interesting because, Pluto in our chart, it's a generational planet. But this is also, it's Pluto, right? It's the planet of transformation, of destruction, of death, right? It's of power, right? Sometimes we have to build ourselves up. We have to fall, and we have to break ourselves to then be repaired, to then gain a new sense of power in ourselves, to gain a new sense of power in the world. And it's so interesting because it's in Cancer. Like, she had this hold on women. Like, she had this hold on women through her teachings, through her knowledge. I mean, this is around the time when a lot of white women were entering the workforce, right? Black women have historically already been working since the beginning of times, but at this moment, women were sought to have a sense of duty in the home. And Martha was able to help facilitate this sort of homemaking style, to then allow the women to feel a sense of duty, to feel a sense of power in their home life. And she was able to garner power through her teachings, through her mind, through her expansiveness. Um, but what's so interesting is that she has a Leo sun. Where my Leo girls at? Where my Leo girls at? Like, if you see, if you look at Martha, she always just be like Martha is fab. Martha is really fab. Like, even in her older age, like she's like 80, she's fab. She looks so amazing. Like, one thing about a Leo, you're not gonna catch them slipping. That's one thing I love about Leos, is that like no matter what they're going through, they always gonna look good. Like, they could be going through the worst time of their life, but they're still gonna be like, point in case, J Lo. Like, when she was going through her thing with Ben Affleck, she was still like, and it's like, girl, you good? But like, I love that. Like, with the Leo, the show has to still go on, right? Leo is about the fifth house. It's about dramatics. It's about entertaining. Like, Leo is like, yes, girl, I may be going through something and I may be crying myself to sleep every night, but I'm gonna show up and I'm going to deliver and be like, And I love that about Leos. I love that about Leos. What's so interesting though is that she has her Chiron in Leo. It's not directly conjunct to her sun, but it's pretty close to her sun, so the energy is there. So I mean, her the sun is your vitality, right? It's your ego, um, and she could have had like a very wounded ego, a very thwarted ego of sort, when it came to like her self expression, like maybe the way that she expressed herself. It her perception has always been a little bit thwarted of some sort, and this is a public house, so I think that, you know, and even with her having like her MC, like her public perception has always been wounded in a sense, right? People have always been wanting to pick her apart, and that can be very challenging for a Leo, because Leos are like, oh, see me, look at me shine, look at me do this, look at me bling, but then like when people start tearing you apart, that can be a very, very distressing feeling for a Leo, because it's like, no, you're supposed to see me shine. You're not supposed to see my, you know, you're not supposed to see me fall or my darkness, right? Like the whole 2004 insider trading scandal was probably so devastating to her, because not only was her image affected, she was the face of the business. And when if you watch the documentary, a lot of investors were hesitant to invest with her company, because they said, hey, look, you are the sole image, you are the sole, you are the brand image, right? This company wouldn't thrive without you being the forefront. Like, she's Leo, she's like, I'm gonna be the I am the business owner, I am the I'm the brand image, I'm the brand name, like everything is Martha Stewart, right? Nothing goes without her clearing it. Like, she is very, very involved with her business, and she also wants to be the very front of her business and reap the recognition, right? Leo in the 10th house, Mercury in the 10th house. Um, but investors were like, if something happens to your reputation, the whole business can be affected. And she said, you know what? I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to take that risk. And she took the risk, and she went down for it. She went down for it. But also, what's so interesting is that she has the Scorpio rising, and it's squaring her sun, and it's squaring that Chiron. So it's like, um having that Pluto energy on the rising, like your rising is like the lens that you use, and how you perceive the world around you, how you perceive the environment. Having this like Plutonian perspective of wanting, of being very like cutthroat and honestly pretty unforgiving, being very choosy, people who you surround yourself with, maybe even being a little bit shady, that affected her reputation a lot. Like, she is the Leo. Like, people want her to show up and be the Leo, and you know, shine and be beautiful and smart and talented and all these beautiful things, all these qualities, and strong. But then with that square, right? Her disposition, the way that she shows up in the world, it there's tension there. There's tension. So, you know, even with her initially rising to a level of fame, her garnering more power, garnering more success, people started to have a lot more to say about who she really is. They're calling her a bitch. They're like, oh, she's just so difficult to work with, and you know, this not. I mean, she got that Virgo Venus. Like, she values a level of expertise. She values a level of almost perfection, right? This can make her very like nitpicky. This can make her, you know, sort of critical. But she knows that the the way that she comes across, and the criticism that she has, comes from a very genuine place for her, right? But a lot of times people don't like the truth. And with that Scorpio rising squaring the sun, I feel like with her expressing her truth, she triggered a lot of people. And I'm not saying that she didn't have moments where she might have been a little bit a little bit of aggressive or abrasive with her speech, with her demeanor, her disposition. I'm sure that she has, especially managing such high volumes of business acumen, high levels. Like, she was a caterer, you know, hosting these high level events, that comes with a lot of stress, right? But a Scorpio placement, a Leo is like, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done and we're gonna make it look fab. Like, if you go back and you research some of the events that she threw together with her catering business, it's intense. It's insane. And it's like, only a Virgo, only a fixed girl could do that. Could have that level of dedication and the level of expertise, right, to enact such wide, huge, massive scale events for celebrities. That's how she got her start, right? She was doing these catering businesses, and then she kind of got her name out there through networking, through intermingling with different clients. And they were like, "Oh, these are beautiful. These are amazing. Why don't you write a book?" Right? That Cancer Mercury, writing, teaching, learning, speaking, all of these communicative qualities, right? Speaking and she was sharing her communicative qualities with that Virgo North Node, right? Sharing her knowledge, sharing her writing, sharing her expertise within groups of people, right? Her North Node is ruled by Mercury, and her Mercury is in Cancer. Like, sharing her expertise, um, and her communicative qualities and traits with women via publications, via a large group of networks, via, she worked on magazines. Like, she had a huge issue with magazines, and even with her Pluto conjoined to Mercury, this could even give her like a very cutthroat sort of quality about herself. Like, but it's in Cancer, right? Because it's a little softer. The Pluto energy is a little bit more watered down, but it's still there. It's still Plutonian. So she could have been a very cutthroat boss. um, Her style, she could be a very authoritative figure, almost kind of like a mentor of some sort. But with that conjunction with her Mercury and her Sun, she could have kind of be susceptible to extreme thinking. Like, Pluto, it deepens and intensifies things. Like, she could really cuss a girl out. I'm sure that she could really eat you up in the most like subtle ways, right? She could really eat you up. And I've seen instances of that when she was like speaking to Blake Lively. And the thing about like people like Martha and being around certain like white women is that they use a lot of passivity to get across, like to get across their anger, to get across their frustration. Instead of actually saying the thing to you, they're gonna like interweave what they really believe and what they really want to say. Like, that's why they thrive in the workplace. That's why they thrive in business, because it's all about image and perception. It's all about maintaining a sense of civility, like a perception of civility in the workforce, in the workplace. Um, but even with her having that Scorpio rising, she might have had a lot of some slip ups, some slip ups. And she got called out for it, and it affected her reputation, affected her identity. But I think over the years, she has been able to then integrate these like scorpionic themes into her public image now. I mean, even now she is a little bit more free to just kind of like be a little bit bitchy. Because she's like older, so she's gone through the phoenix rising aspect, right? Like, she had one image of her, one version of her crumble to then reborn, for then a new version of her to be reborn and rebirth, like this new version of Martha that we have now. But this Martha couldn't have been brought about without the former Martha being tested and tried and diligently working towards her business. I mean, even if you see her chart itself, how many times do I have? If you see her chart yourself, sorry, she has a lot of energy in the top quadrant of her chart. Like, when it comes to family life and her private life, I mean, she doesn't have a lot of energy there. That's not saying that she can't have a family, but that's not where a lot of her focus lies. Like, even in the documentary, she was just like, being a mother felt so unnatural to me. I mean, she got this moon square north node. Uh, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of there's going to be tension. There was tension when it came to her domestic life and her professional pursuits, her destiny. Her destiny was always to be a teacher to the masses, right? To be a public figure. But it's hard to have a public figure as a mom because there is an imbalance of energy, right? You want to have your mom there and you want her to validate you and you want her presence, but she is very much consumed with the life that she has built before you were even thought of. So, um, and she has that moon in the second house, right? I mean, this as the birth time is pretty accurate. So with the moon in the second house, this could even like literally be her like having a lot of financial opportunities, financial blessings from the mother, from the home life, from childhood. This could also look like someone making money from domesticity, from domestic activities, domestic values. Um, but it's in Sagittarius, right? Like this could even be like someone that really, I mean, the second house is a money house, but it's also about like your self-esteem, right? Your values, what you truly value. She really does value right? She values her moon ruled by Jupiter. She is somebody that she values a lot of knowledge and expertise. She values foreign cultures, the richness of um, learning about people, learning about different customs and traditions. This could even look like her being like a very generous person. My Sagittarius moon, like a Jupiter ruled moon, like she could be very very generous. Um, but yeah, it's in conflict with that North Node, her destiny. So it's like one area gets more love and the other one doesn't get as much love. And she got like that she got that Jupiter in the eighth house. So that could even really just look like, I mean, this eighth house, this Cancer Gemini cusp, that could even just look like this is other people's money. Her her having a surplus of money through communication, through the ways in which she can teach and she can provide knowledge, and her having a surplus of money through the way that she teaches, through her ideas, her collaborations, and even like if I don't really know if she got any money with spousal support when her and husband divorced, but the eighth house can also, it's an inheritance house, right? She could have inherited something from divorce, she could have inherited something from a death in the family, but that would bring her a level of abundance. But this Venus square Jupiter, I think that her personal relationships were always a struggle, because I mean she got that Virgo Venus, like Virgo Venuses, they can be very, very picky when it comes to the people that they allow in their life. And if they do allow certain people in their life, they have a lot to say. They have some things. They have things to say. They want things done in their way and they want it done on their time. And this Venus square Jupiter, this can even look like some difficulty with the husband, difficulty with I mean, Jupiter is the husband in a woman's chart. Um, there could be like a communication difference because it's in these like mercurial energies. It's mutable, so there could be like some resistance to um, change. even though it is mutable, but there's this square here. There's like a conflict between the two energies. This isn't saying that she can't have a relationship. I mean, like her Venus is making a good aspect to her rising, so the relationships will be very authentic to her, and authentic to her values. But it could have a little bit of tension when it maybe like even when it came down to money, like the splitting of money, the breaking down of resources. It could be a little challenging for her. Mm. But yeah, this is what I see. I mean, one thing about her, she got that, look at her Mars. Her Mars, it's an Aries in the fifth house. She was born to be a businesswoman. She was born to be a boss. She was born to be a leader of some sort. In the fifth house, like she was born to really have a go-getter mindset when it came to actualizing her goals, actualizing her passions, actualizing her hobbies. And it's an Aries, it's already ruled by Mars. Like this Mars ruled fifth house, like she was gonna be on top. Even if like homemaking came as like a hobby for her, she was just like, oh, I can really do this. Like she found herself, she found her passion through these hobbies. And look how well aspected it is. Like she made money off of it. Look at this positive aspect to Jupiter in her eighth house. Like, come on. Mars winning her fifth house, Mercury. Like, there's this constant energy of like communication, of teaching, of abundance through these teachings, abundance through these learning styles. And she was the ultimate teacher, right? Because her teaching style was, and it was very light. Her teaching style was very light, even though it was conjoined with Pluto. She was able to get her message across. That was very that she was able to relay her information to people that were taking it in a very receptive way. And she even like this could even look like her having like a cult fan base, like having this power over the women. It's like, oh, well, what does Martha think about this? Let me go see what Martha wrote down in this book. Like she was the person people looked to when it came to like being a boss in homemaking and catering and setting up a business. Like she was the boss. She knew, she was spewing orders. She knew what was going on. She was heavily interested and heavily active in her own business. She didn't she didn't say no. She did everything in her power, and look at her, it paid off. I mean, she got Saturn and she got Saturn and Taurus too. Like that could even look like some restrictions with relationships, some difficulties, and a lot of lessons around relationships. I mean, even lessons around that man that she was cool with, that pretty much got her implicated in the scandal, in the insider trading scandal. Her learning a lot of lessons. I mean, it's in Taurus, learning a lot of lessons when it came to business, when it came to money, associating with certain people, you know, and what her true value system is. And I think when she had, I know someone's, because I made a video about this on TikTok. I think that someone said that she was going through her Saturn return during the trial. I don't know. I have to check on that. Please don't beat me up if I'm wrong. But I feel like that is true. But even that, like her having her Saturn return in the seventh house with relationships, about money, be careful about the people that you associate with, right? Like really, and it reinvigorated and reassessed her own sense of value. What do you truly value, right? What was the whole point of this whole thing? And it literally sat her down for her to come to this realization that nobody can stop you, nobody can take away what is destined for you. She got that. Oh my gosh. Some people's chart, you just be like, yeah, like you were destined to be a boss. Like, yeah. But yeah, you guys, I didn't want to make it too long. I need to work on like not making things super long. But yes, you guys, this is it. Oh my gosh. I want to make another video. It's been fun, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm like kind of sick. So lame. But Wish me well. Send me some good energy. And yeah, you guys, this is it for me. Let me know if you guys watched the documentary. What did you guys think? Let me know what you guys thought about this motherfucking reading, okay? And until next time, you guys, thank you so much again, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Alrighty, bye.